Dalton Wade Real Estate Group. Today I'm joined with Lisa. She's in charge of the camera. And we're just here, the two of us, and today we're going to talk about tips to win more offers. So when you're working with a buyer and you submit that offer, you want to have the best shot of actually getting accepted. Very competitive out there, a lot of buyers, not a lot of property, so you want to be sometimes a little more aggressive in terms of your offer. Obviously, you're going to communicate and discuss this all with your client. You're not just doing it unilaterally, but if you get your client's blessing, these are some good tips to win that offer. So the first one is use an escalation clause. An escalation clause is something I learned a few years back. It's awesome when you're in a multiple offer situation. It ensures you have the highest offer, and it also ensures that your client doesn't go haywire and offer a lot more than they needed to. So here's the basics on an escalation clause. It's you tell the seller that you're going to pay them $3,000 or $5,000 above their top offer with proof of such offer. So and that guarantees your client has a good shot at coming out on top. There's a few more mechanics to it. Doesn't sometimes work with REOs or bank-owned properties, but with a traditional, typical, home seller, great technique to win that offer. Happy to, chat offline with anybody how to write that up and to get more out of it. The next one is use a larger deposit. Instead of putting down the traditional $1,000, maybe you do $1,000 and then, at the time of 10 days after the home inspection, you put down an additional $4,000, or you put the $5,000 down right up front, telling that seller your buyer's committed. You've got a much more aggressive buyer. The next one is shorten that home inspection. Sellers are always nervous that the buyer's going to back out after the home inspection. This way, talk to your home inspector. Maybe you can get it done in 7 days as opposed to the 10 or 15 days. Again, it shows the buyer's aggressive, the buyer wants the property, and the buyer's working hard to make things happen for that seller to win it. Make sure if you're dealing with a buyer that's getting a loan, make sure, better again, that pre-approval is from someone that you've worked with before and can deliver, as opposed to, we're not going to pick on any big bank, but opposed to, a pre-approval from a big bank that a smart listing agent knows, that pre-approval may not, be all that strong or all that good, or they didn't really do much to pre-approve that person. And again, it throws in doubt whether the person is going to be able to close. All these tips are to make it seem like your buyer is going to close. That's all that seller and listing agent really care about at the end of the day. Yeah, they got a great offer, but the person didn't care. It's all a waste of time. Have the listing agent call the lender. Tell them what the lender did to pre-approve them. Pre-approvals are not all created equal. They're very different levels of what one lender might do and say the person's pre-approved versus someone else. Shorten the closing period. Again, maybe instead of 45 days or 30 days, you do 28 days. Again, provided that the lender can actually deliver. A lot of them can do it in 3 weeks, so maybe you do 24 days. It just shows that your person is going to toe the line and get to closing as quickly as possible. So all these things added up, come up with a stronger offer. And then the last thing you can do as the agent is you can call and you can really advocate for your client and tell that listing agent that your guy is rock solid and is going to close. And and again, all these things put together, better shot of having your offer be accepted and then moving forward. And again, you can do all this with your buyer's blessing, but properties are flying, tough sometimes to get stuff, and here are some tips to kind of help do that. Lisa, any questions?
No, but I think I have a few more little tips that you might
give us some more tips.
You might use. So you can call your home inspector and check his schedule and communicate to that listing agent. I've already spoken with my home inspector. We'll be in there, 3 days from today, kind of things. So show how quickly you are. If there's there are additional attachments on the MLS. Make sure all of those are signed and initialed, and you're turning in a complete package that you're easy to work with. You get things done. I think that means something, especially with a more experienced agent that knows what it's like to try and work with somebody who's not on top of their diligence. So those are some other little tips that I think could be helpful. And if you don't communicate this to the listing agent, then sometimes they don't communicate it to the buyer or seller, especially if they're a new agent and they don't really know, hey, these things are important, unless you spell it out to them.
Exactly. Those are all great tips, additional tips, and it's really, again, it's really advocating for your client. It's having that communication, and letting that listing agent know that you're right on top of all this, and you're going to get this closed. And that's again, that's really what it's all about. It's not about submitting an offer and then maybe. No, it's about my person really wants this house, and they've demonstrated that by doing some things in terms of how that offer is put forth to kind of tell that seller, look, we're really committed, we want this house, and put us under agreement. So, any questions from anybody on Facebook? Alrighty. Hope found this of value. If you have any questions, you can call me offline, 727-888-4175, and we appreciate you tuning in. Thank you.